vulnerability and displacement, which is born of the conflicting ideas of family, home, spirituality between her mixed American and Cuban upbringing. Through her work, she conveys nationality while bridging the identities of these two seemingly disparate worlds. Cuevas is currently pursuing her master's in fine arts from the California College of the Arts. Her work has been included in group exhibitions at the Institute of Contemporary Art San Francisco, Movimiento de Arte y Cultura Latinoamericana San Jose's Quilts Textile Museum, International Ceramics in Kishkemet, Hungary, and in the Kansas City Artists Coalition. She is a recipient of several awards, including the Cultural Power Fellowship, the Knight Foundation, the McCowan Grant, Rita and Irwin Scholarship Award, and the Oxbow Workshop recipient. She has her work in the San Jose's Quilts and Textiles Permanent Collection. Here's Carolina.
Thank you so much for coming tonight. I sound really cool off of what you just said. Firstly, let me say thank you to the Kansas City Artists Coalition for allowing me to have this show. Thank you to all of you for coming here tonight. It's an honor to be showing my work this summer. So I guess a little bit about my work. The show itself is called Cuerpo y Alma, which means in body and soul. And I chose the title because I felt like the name itself represented presence, and I wanted the show to have that physical presence and spiritual presence. So this piece, for example, sort of going through each piece, I work with a lot of clay, not traditionally. I wouldn't say I'm a ceramicist. I just work with clay, usually raw clay. And I use the clay mainly because of the way it represents the body. So in this piece, for example, I'm thinking of a prayer that was passed down through generations in my family, read by my mother and my grandmother. And the prayer itself, you have to be facing the wall when they say the prayer to you, and they mark your back with the cross. And this is kind of like a catch-all prayer, so it'll protect you for anything. And I think it's really interesting to have this very like spiritual, very religious piece in my life, in my experience, to be in a gallery, and in a way it's sort of like blessing all of you. And not in a religious way, not in a Catholic or Christian way, but just a communal healing type of experience. And then I'm really interested, of course, in, like I said, the body connection. And so most of the work here you'll see is mainly about bringing together and then also distance. So in the video you'll see like my mother, and she's cutting my hair, again, going back to tradition. And in this piece, you'll find this little guy that my dad made, and I find him very important, so I bring him to the piece. And on the other side, you'll see a weaving, and I'll have a piece of my sister's hair. So my family is involved in like all the pieces of me, and actually that's my family coming through the door. My sister and my nephew and my mother and my dad, and they're all coming through. So yeah, and so, sorry, just got distracted. But yes, and then the performance that we'll have today, which this is a durational performance. Of course, you don't have to sit there for the entire performance, although you're welcome to. It's talking about that distance. So it's two people weaving towards each other. Normally you would not weave with another person. The tension will be completely off. But I think it's important that it's these two bodies supporting each other to make this piece, to come to the center and actually connect. And then the third performer will be making the weft piece. The weft is what they weave with. And in that weft, they're basically explaining the process of them coming together. So without further ado, with my three performers, we take your spots. Thank you.